morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me tonight. This is a special reading for the full moon in Libra for March the 28th and 29th, 2021. I'm going to be doing a special spread for you that I feel guided to do. I was really giving a lot of thought to this reading today and found myself posting it kind of late, because I was in such a state of creative energy, getting ready some new things that I'm working on. And one of the things I was working on was creating some spreads that really spoke to me for the readings. And I designed one for tonight that I hope you'll enjoy as much as I think I'm going to enjoy. So I've got my cards ready. Everything's good to go. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle. And I'm going to pull 5 cards from a cut deck. So I'm not going to shuffle the way that I usually do, where cards go flying. I'm asking for the cards to be controlled because I only want 5 cards. And then I'm going to put the deck down and I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to pull the 5 cards. Okay, that's it. They're shuffled. I'm feeling like spirits had it with me. Okay, here we go. We're going to cut the deck. And we're going to take the first 5 cards off this deck. So the Hanged Man is in the first position. Now, in this spread, the first position indicates where there is a lack of balance. So if the Hanged Man is in the position of where there is a lack of balance, that tells me that you're in a situation where you're feeling fear, where you're feeling anxiety, where you're very, very worried about what's to come, in a situation where there may have been a shift in the external sense of security that you have, or maybe an internal perspective or belief that you have long held that has suddenly been blown out of the water. And now you're not sure what to do. And you're feeling a little bit afraid. You're feeling a little bit of anxiousness. You may be feeling defensive, and that you have a lack of faith. Okay, so if that's the area where there is imbalance, what I'm sensing is that you could be responding to change in a way that you want to examine. How do you respond to change? Do you accept change, or do you resist it? Do you have a pleasant expression on your face like our friend the Hanged Man, or are you, white knuckling it and very anxious? So that is very consistent with card number 2, which would be in the placement of what is the process or lesson? What are the 2 opposing ends of the situation that you're in? And you've got the 8 of Cups. And in the 8 of Cups, it's all about what? Walking away from things that no longer serve you. This card can be a warning that you might start to feel depressed or sad because your cups are empty. These eight cups are empty, and you're off to see what is next. You have no idea. There's no certainty. You're not sure what you're going to find going forward, but you know you have to walk away from these 8 cups. Just like the Hanged Man, you get the impression here that the process or lesson you're on is trust and acceptance versus resistance and sort of hanging on and not letting go. So from the spread that, when we're looking at these new positions, that is certainly what I'm seeing here. Now, when you look at the 3rd position, which should describe to us the truth of the situation causing the imbalance, we see the 10 of Pentacles. So that tells me that what you're hanging on to is a definition of physical and permanent security in the earthly realm. So your physical sense of security, the things you can see, the things you can feel, the things you can touch, the things you can taste and smell, all of those things, you had a very you had a very permanent idea of what that looks like, and it appears to be shaken up. I would suggest that you've got internal and external sort of conflicts right now pulling at you, which is no surprise considering this is a full moon that is in Libra opposing Aries, which we'll talk about when I finish the reading, when we get to the clarifying moon cards. But that makes sense. That really makes sense, that you're in a situation where you have this definition of security and it's being shaken. Okay, there is a shakedown happening to your definition of security in the physical earthly realm. So things that bring in, physical prosperity. You have a definition of that and it's being shaken up. There's a shake-up going on here. Now, the fourth card is in the position of how do you express your truth? Once you realize that the truth of the matter is that you're hanging on to a definition of security, you're anxious about what the future could bring, and you're feeling like you've lost something. So there's a perception of loss here, but also the Eight of Cups can also suggest a sense of acceptance. So that's why I say that the process you're on is between letting go and acceptance about something that you feel anxious about, which defines you in the physical world. This thing is changing. So the advice here from the spread, the cards, and from Spirit is saying that moving forward, the expression of that truth should be the Four of Swords reversed, which is a beautiful reversal because it really suggests recovery. It suggests a time where you return to the world, where there's no more hiding. You're really connected with your inner spirit, and you're potentially feeling like a very strong sense of regained energy. And there's an element here that you're aware of things that were previously unconscious to you. So that suggests that there could be an element of a spiritual awakening of sorts, where once you do accept the shift in these definitions you had of security, there could be a very big shift coming for you in the form of a rebirth. Okay, now in the fifth position, the guidance we're being given here is the Four of Wands in reverse, which is the ultimate advice of remember to be grateful. And so there is an attitude here that on this cycle of these 5 cards, you're going to be feeling a lot of intense fear and anxiety about, this idea that you have of how to be secure in the physical world. You're on the process of understanding how to let go of things and how to see that you must sometimes go forward into uncertainty without knowing what lies ahead of you, and that a regained sense of energy will come to you when you understand that truth about how shifting our perspective and shifting our ideas is the only way to evolve. I picked 5 cards also just because to me the fifth card in all of the tarot is always the card that is like the darkness, the challenge before the truth. It's the challenge that leads to evolution. It's the challenge that leads to your truth. And so it's a journey through these 5 cards that ends with the message of stay grateful. Stay humble and grateful, and always know that we are always students as long as we're on earth here. And that, don't get the attitude of, well, now what? Just keep going, keep going, keep being, keep the attitude that you're a student, always studying life curiously, right? Now, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that spread. I hope you did too. I'm going to continue to use these 5 cards. Maybe I won't just use it for full moon, because it did seem to give us a very clear understanding on the process that's going on right now. I love it. Okay, so I want to get some words from the moon here, my moon oracle, to see what the moon has to say. about all of this? Oh, let's ask something specific. What is the sense of security most identified as? What is this 10 of Pentacles that this is the card that ended in the position of the truth. So the truth that expresses the reason for the imbalance is this strong sense of how to be secure in the physical world. So can we get more information on that sense of how to be strong in the physical, how to be secure, how to be secure, the sense of security in the physical world? Thank you. Oh, wow. Don't let pride get in your way. Conclusions are within reach. Be bold and make the first move, and your hard work is paying off. So, without even really having to interpret that for you, I think you can see the connection. So don't let your pride get in the way. I think suggests that it's okay to let go of previously held self-beliefs, or previously held beliefs about the world, or previously held beliefs about security on earth and security in the physical realm. It's okay to let those things go. So if you were the kind of person that was, known for having certain beliefs about security in your life, and then suddenly that shifted, don't let pride get in the way. This is the full moon in Leo card. Leo is about that long burn, right? It's not a bushfire that burns hot and burns out, right? It's not a distant fire. It's a very real fire that could keep you warm all winter. So don't let your pride get in the way of that, okay? Now, conclusions are within reach suggests to me that you can be like the Hanged Man and relax. The conclusions are within reach, and you don't need to feel anxiety and fear, and you don't need to feel depression about letting go, because the conclusions are coming, okay? And so that's certainly good news. Now, be bold and make the first move really talks to me about this rebirth you're going to experience, in the sense of you're going to have this newfound sense of energy coming off. And it's going to be really, really nice to see, because being bold, you got to be bold. You got to be bold. You got to, in the face of everything changing, you have to try and take an attitude of boldness, because an attitude of fear and anxiety, this card actually speaks to that as well, is that, it's not going to get you very far. It's just going to push you back down, right? So now the next card is really nice too, because it's the, your hard work is paying off. And so it's sort of an overall message to say this whole process of changing is going to be worth it. Your hard work is paying off. All the struggles that you're having on the external and the internal level are going to be pushing you in a direction towards something, and it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be bold. I want to talk to you a little bit about the moon. Let me just flip my book here. I made some notes for you. I wanted to talk about this moon a bit. So if you just wanted the reading, I'm done with the reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow for a general reading. But if you want to stay for a little bit longer and hear about this full moon entering into Libra, basically right now what's going to happen is the sun is in Aries and it's opposing the moon in Libra, and the position of the way everything's going on up there, the sun is fully illuminating this moon. So that's why it's being called a supermoon, because it's got 100% illumination from the sun. Now, when Aries opposes Leo, we've got a huge dynamic of balance between the personal needs and the needs of others. So it's very interesting when you take that into this reading, because you might not be providing security for just you. So you might be providing security for others as well, or you might be going a whole other way than you usually do. So there is this sort of push and pull happening between self and others. Compromise, being assertive, personal needs of others. There is this idea of aha moments coming with this full moon. There are big aha moments that really are going to encourage you to want to speak your truth. But again, be grateful, be humble. Just because you're speaking your truth doesn't mean you have to water any seeds of hostility or anger or defensiveness, right? Like the Hanged Man always teaches us not to be defensive or triggered, because we're trusting what's going on. And if you're quick to anger, you're quick to manipulate. So better to stay calm in your truth and just keep going. The conclusions are within reach. Now, the other thing this moon really wants you to think about is, are you being 100% authentic, or are you just forcing diplomacy on yourself? That is a theme I see coming up in a lot of other readings lately, so I wanted to highlight that. There is, again, remember, the pull and push of this moon is going to be between the self and others, right? Libra always wants to think about others, and Aries is always thinking about the self. Aries is very assertive. Aries does have that quick burning fire, not like Leo. Leo's fire is like the fire that, like I said, it could take you all through the winter. Whereas Aries, it's like that passionate fire that comes in to shake things up. It's a cardinal, the Aries is the cardinal sign. So it leads off, it's very passionate, but then that's it. And then you get into the Leo energy that is more stable, and it can take you into like long periods, right? So you're going to want to look at stuff like that. You're going to start to feel very high levels of emotion. There could be some drama, okay? There might be some romance coming to you, because there is this self and other dilemma here in this moon. So you might be feeling a lot of romance. You might be feeling nostalgia. I love that word. You might start to feel nostalgic for some love from the past, but be careful, because as you've seen from the previous readings we've had, you're highly manifestive right now. Manifestive, is that even a word? You're manifesting right now. So if you call in a love from the past, it just might show up. Now, this is also a good time. We've been seeing the Hermit come up a lot and the Tower come up a lot, right? We've been seeing all of these cards. And so this is a very good time to have a look at the culmination of process. That's why I wanted to pick, why I felt guided and was really trying to get guidance on how to give you a reading that included a card about process, because process is key. Right? If you can strip away the emotions of things that you experience, you can truly see the process of it, which will help you understand it without denying the emotion. You still feel the emotion, but the emotion doesn't become the lead. It's not driving. Imagine giving the wheel to emotion only. You're going to be all over the place. You're going to be all over the road. You're going to be on the sidewalk. You're going to be going slow. Sometimes you're probably going to be just stopped completely. And then other times you're going to be driving at ridiculously fast speeds and going over hills and jumps and all kinds of stuff. So emotion can't drive alone. It needs assistance, right? And I love that you've got cups, wands, swords, and pentacles. Look at that, right? Like, the Hanged Man is hanging above all four paths to spirit, all four paths to discover the inner self. One of each card. You got 4, 4, 8, 10. Like, I mean, honestly, it's just, you can't, I'm always blown away by, just always blown away Be humble. See how humble I'm being? I'm always blown away and so grateful for the connection. Um, yeah, this has been a fantastic reading. You guys, I feel giddy. I'm going to have some water here. Honestly, this has just been a delightful reading. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And I'll probably see you tomorrow for another general reading. But please consider this reading for tonight and tomorrow as an exercise you might want to do for the full moon is to make a little, like if you're like me and you like to doodle and make notes and stuff on paper, make a little chart. Talk to yourself about what are your needs, what are your perceived ideas of security in the physical world, what are your impressions of letting go of things. Are you able to let go and walk forward into the unknown, or does the depression of what you've left behind keep you down, right? Are you being grateful? Maybe start writing down things that you're grateful for. Because, if you look around really with your eyes consciously watching mindfully your day unfold, there is a ton of stuff to be grateful for. And I mean, today I was just literally grateful for how beautiful the sunshine was. And so, it's not as hard as you think to see things that you're grateful for. I'm not sure why I felt the need to say that. Maybe someone needed to hear that. But the conclusions are within your reach. I said this reading was over, and then I started talking again. It's so funny. Just hang in there, I guess. Again, the conclusions are within your reach. And Hanged Man. Hanged Man in there, guys. Hanged Man in there. That was the name of a reading the other day. And it still rings true. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. And thank you again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, have a wonderful full moon, everyone. Good night.